One of the core functions of the AntConc, and then just also corpus tools in general, is called the KWIC function. So this means keyword in context. And you can search whatever you want here, one word or a phrase. And I'm just going to use the phrase signaling pathways as a sample, and I'll just hit enter. And it returns me every case of the phrase signaling pathways that's in the corpus. And we have 281 hits from this. If we want to see where they're coming from, we can extend this file a little bit if that's important to you. But the way it's organized is by the default sort to right here. So it's got signaling pathways that could. We can see that signaling pathways that could has occurred 3 times in the corpus. Same with signaling pathways that lead, that occurs 3 times, that regulate, and so on. So it's organized by the most frequent clusters that come to the right of the node. They're calling it the hit here. I'll probably be calling it the node. And you might be interested to see what comes to the left of the node. And I'm going to just try that here. So we could say let's sort 1 to the left. And in fact, sorting 1 to the right on here didn't help us because that just sorts pathways. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so downstream signaling pathways seems to be the most frequent, followed by of signaling pathways. You'll notice here that you also get some numbers included in here. These are references. And the default for the corpus is to ignore numbers when you do searches. Now, this could be interesting, but I might actually be missing some data. Because I'm American, I spelled signaling with 1 L, but British people might spell it with 2 L's. So if I want to capture that data as well, I'm going to put a little asterisk here after the L for signaling pathways, and that's what's called a wildcard search. If I put an asterisk after that L, then it's going to give me all of the cases of signaling with 1 L and with 2 L's. Let's see what we get. So this time we have 360 hits, so we've increased our count by about 80 hits. And now we can see here there's some double L's in the data and some single L's. If it's really important to you to find the difference between the double L and the single L, you can also sort center to right or center to left. If I sort center to right and push start, now signaling with 1 L is going to take all of that data, and I would have to jump to the end here to now find all of the double L's, because remember there was only 80 hits of signaling with 2 L's and 280 hits with 1 L. So if I was really curious, I could see, here's where the most frequent double L signaling pathways are, with their most frequent 1 and 2 to the right co-locations. That might be enough, but then again I'm thinking there's probably cases of signaling pathway. So maybe I should put an asterisk at the end of pathway as well, so that I can capture all of that data too. Oh yeah, so now we see we've got 750 hits. So we've been able to increase it a lot by including pathway. Now right now, since it's sorted center to right, I think that we're just getting signaling pathways with the single L and the S, because that's the most frequent. That's not so interesting to me. Let's go 1 more to the left and see what we get. Okay, so now we see lots of the NF-KB signaling pathway. That seems to be very big, and same with the whatever this is, TNF-alpha, TNF-R, something signaling pathway. So, wow, that indicates that this NF-KB is a very, very important signaling pathway. Look how far down it goes, all the way to 42 hits. Now, it probably is significant, but I have to be a little bit careful by just looking at the frequency, I should also think about how many different articles this appears in. That's one reason why it's important to look at the file. So now we can see, well, there are a fair amount of different authors that use this, but quite a lot of them are just coming from one source. And even the ones that are not 2020 Shu are also coming from the British Journal of Pharmacology, from other authors. So it does seem to be a common signaling pathway, but it might also have restricted use depending on what the authors are doing. Since this is so much data, it's kind of hard to see it all on this page, so in the next video I'll show you a different way to look at the same data.